Happy Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's Musings with Wiz. I don't even know what the hell to call these things, but the fact that I miss one, or people keep asking questions, or saying thanks, or we're ordering books, or share your favorite meditation is awesome. So I'm gonna keep the love alive here, so to speak. Just knocked out a good 20-minute morning meditation. I'll share the link, I guess, in the YouTube box or on Facebook or wherever. I don't know how to do it on Instagram. That's how technically challenged I am. But Sara Raymond is her name. Sara Raymond from the Mindfulness movement. Google 20-minute morning meditation and do it. Trust me, I've had, and call them a successful failure, because as soon as you sit down to try and meditate, there goes your mind. Your mind does not, it physically cannot stop thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Look at dreams. Even when you try and sleep, your mind is racing around in all these places. So by meditating, we stop that thinking. We take a pause. We pull back from the world, and we go within. You'd be amazed at how your life is going to change when you meditate. Try that 20-minute morning meditation from Sara Raymond, and trust me, if you recognize within 30 seconds of this lady talking that your nose is itchy, or you're thinking about what you have to do in the afternoon, you succeeded. What? Think of it as a successful failure. If you stepped back, like sitting in a movie theater with some popcorn, and started watching your thoughts instead of being in them, you're actually on your way, man. That is the first step of 1,000 miles, is to be able to recognize that, wow, this thing is not me. You ever hear this? This is you talking. Man, I am so upset with myself. That sentence right there could change your life. Break that down. Who's the I and who's the self? So there's two of you? Say that a couple times to yourself after this video is over, and ask yourself, wait, that makes sense. I'm really upset at myself. So, and then boom, mind blown. So Sara Raymond, the Mindfulness movement, she's fantastic. There's a ton of YouTube videos out there. I sit on my couch or on the floor, got my headphones in, and I feel fantastic. Even when the world's falling down all over me, I'm like Neo in the Matrix, man. So please knock that out. Think of them as successful failures. Whereas I can't meditate. For the people who say I can't meditate and then give up, that is a failure. For the people who say I have a hard time meditating, that's success. Folks, even people who are enlightened have a mind that races. But we can control it. When you focus on your breathing, think about this, folks. You can't get in a previous breath. The breath that I started this with is gone for the ages. You can't breathe in a future breath. What? Yeah, think about it. All you have is that. And when you focus on that and you shut down the world, man, and slow your thoughts, I'm telling you, man, trust me, I'll remind you, 5-year-old me would have walked up by now and punched me in the face and laughed at me. Nice Lululemons, Wiz. And in addition to that, I used to go to hot yoga joint down here in Deerfield, Boca, North Fort Lauderdale, downtown Fort Lauderdale. Also helped change my life. Yeah, I get it. I can hear all my buddies laughing at me right now. Joke's on you, man. Another thing that saved my life was doing hot yoga. Now, Yoga Joint and Nicole Fox, one of the best. She's the Jedi master, right? I'm not even close to being a young Jedi, but these folks at Yoga Joint, they are doing online sessions, man. So I pull it up on the big screen in my office, got my mat, and it's not 100 degrees in here, but I can make it 100 degrees in here. But try that, because folks, sitting like Buddhist monks, sitting for hours at a time requires what? You have to be physically fit. So that yoga gets downward dog, reverse grasshopper with a back twist, allows you to be able to hang out in your meditation a lot longer. So the hot yoga is a must. Check out Yoga Joint and their live stuff throughout the day. Do it. Just do it. Trust me. Okay. This has turned into like Oprah's book club. Not as big as Oprah, literally, yet, but we'll see. But Kevin Miller, F-18 buddy of mine, great book. I've started reading. I'm actually going to make my two sons read this first. Kevin, the one who I dropped on his head, who wants to fly for the Marine Corps. and then my middle boy Jack, who wants to go to the Naval Academy. And imagine having a Marine and Navy son, both want to fly fighters. But Raven 1, great book. I'm going to rip this apart after my boys read it. Kevin's a great American, great author, and really looking forward to that. Awesome. So there you go, Kev. Good stuff. Keep up the good work. All right. A couple things. Yeah, and I talked yesterday, and I got a couple questions about this on Facebook. Yesterday was like my 7th birthday. Yeah, I know I need Botox. I'm looking pretty rough for a 7-year-old, but 7 years ago, yesterday, man, I was feeling like crap. We were out in Vail. We were staying at Lion's Head, kind of skiing that day. Just felt like crap. Night went on. I remember sitting at dinner, kids, yeah, everything, and then just laying in bed. Couldn't sleep. Now I'm hacking. Kind of couldn't breathe. And 4 in the morning, whatever it was, 4:30. I don't remember, but I'm like, I think I'm dying. I have to go to the hospital. Got up and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna. I was like, I need to take a shower. I'm not going to the emergency room looking like in my pajamas. Saved my life. I'm like, yeah. So I didn't have a rental car. It was like, now it's like 5 in the morning. It's snowing like crazy in Vail. So I'm waiting for the bus. You know, if you've been to Vail, you can take a bus kind of into town. And I get on the bus. I'll never forget this. Bus driver, I'm like in the back. And 2 dudes on the bus. They look like lift operators or something like that, getting ready to start their day. And going into town, there's a hospital. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God. Right past the hospital, I'm like, I'm like grabbing the thing, ding, 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 and the guy pulls. I'm like, stop. I'm like, he's like, oh, the hospital's a stop on the route out of town, but on the way in, you know, we stop up here. I'm like, ah. So I get off the shuttle, and I'm probably a half a mile from Vail Regional Hospital. Man, snowing, dark, 5:30-ish now. I just started trudging along this road, man. Every step was, I felt like I was on the top of Mount Everest, man. I got to a point, I'll never forget this, where I said, you know what, just sit down, catch your breath, and take a little bit of a break, take rest. And before I went to sit like on this little snowbank, I'm like, you're dying. That's it. That's your body. That's the give up signal. And that was the jolt of adrenaline. I'm like, oh my God, that's it. Get up. Got up. Yeah, it gets better. I get to there's Vail Hospital right on the street. I walk up to the back door. Before 6 a.m., please use a front emergency entrance. I'm like, ah. Oh my God, seriously? So I go around the building, and the last thing, I shit you negative, the last thing I remember is going in the emergency room, and apparently it was a slow night, because I remember like a circle of like doctors and nurses with their feet up and, you know, playing cards, and they all just kind of looked at me, and I remember this. I go, I can't breathe. And they said I just went, and I was done. I woke up at like noon that day, and in the emergency room, fully everything. I'm like, oh my God, man. Finally, when they took, I could talk. They're like, holy shit, my blood O2 level, whatever it was, fill in the percentage, 62%, something like that. And the ER doc's like, and I told him the story. He said, the shower, if you had taken a shower, you would have died. If you sat down on that curb, we would have found you curled up in a fetal position and you would have died. He's like, when you came in and you collapsed in the ER, you were about 10 minutes from death. And it was, I done a lot of stupid things. I flew fighters for 15 years, buried 15, 16 of the finest Americans you'll never get a chance to meet. I've seen other people do stupid things in airplanes that have almost killed me. To fly fighters for 15 years off of an aircraft carrier, day, night, bad weather over bad guy country, to die of HAPE. It was a high altitude pulmonary edema. And I'm like, dude, doc, I'm a fighter pilot, man. He's like, doesn't matter. we don't really know what causes HAPE. We had, this guy's like, we have people die every year from HAPE up here. And he's like, we had a guy who climbed Mount Everest died of HAPE. They have no rhyme or reason. It was that bad, so they couldn't get my oxygen down. They're like, dude, you have to leave. Next flight, you got to get down to sea level. Get back to Miami. He's like, if you had your blood O2 level in Miami, you would have died already. I'm like, holy crap. I had to leave with an oxygen bottle. And then, of course, at Vail Regional, by the time they released me, ain't no flights home. And I'm like driving to Denver right now. So they actually brought this like massive oxygen thing in, like a delivery service came and put this oxygen thing in there. I had to sleep with that. Took the oxygen bottle when I woke up in the morning for like the 06 flight out of Eagle Mountain and got back to Miami. Death. That was the closest I've come to death, folks. And before that, I've been close to death a lot of times, and I never thought that. So I wanted to pass that story. Why? Because I saw that pop up as a Facebook memory. And even with everything going on right now, I'm like, oh my God, I should have died on the side of the road at Vail Mountain. That would have been perfect, too. That would have been so whiz. Oh my God, you hear about Wiz? Yeah, he died on the side of the road at Vail, probably, leaving an Irish bar. So what am I getting at? In the 4 agreements, we talk about, I love this saying that, people say, you only live once. Wrong. You only die once, man. You live every day. So in the 4 agreements, the one book I strongly recommend, it talks about accept death. Make peace with death. Embrace it. My dad used to say, who's obviously no longer with us, miss my dad every day. He used to joke, Matthew, nobody makes it out alive, son. And he's right. No matter how much you work out, nanotechnology, whatever. I love watching Westworld and all these things about, people trying to extend their life. And hey, man, we're here for a visit. You're actually a soul, man, on a journey. You're just this thing is just, this is the aircraft you're flying right now. But there's a different thing that it's transformative, man. When you think about Google, what are the odds? Google the odds of you being alive today and fortunate enough to be watching this video. Now, yes, but no, maybe. But what am I saying by embrace death? Nobody makes it out alive. So once you actually, some people say, die already. Just die mentally with that thought, and you're going to live a fantastic life. I'm not kidding. Accept death. And I know that, great Tuesday morning pickup in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, it is. You can't control. That die's already been cast, man. The day your number is up was written the day you were born. Okay? So as long as you accept that, man, you're going to start embracing this shit. You're not going to fight anymore, and you're going to be at a lot more peace with yourself. That had absolutely zero to do with the market, but it doesn't matter because who cares about the market? Freaking money? Money does shit. Matter of fact, some of the most miserable people I've ever seen in my life have been rich as hell. Misery. And some of them have health problems that all the money in the world can't buy. Health, family, friends. That's what it's all about, folks. Screw money, man. What are they going to do? Put it in your casket with you? You can't take it with you. Okay? So, all right. A lot of stuff going on. The futures are flat. And it's going to be, tomorrow's the day of reckoning, folks. Tomorrow's it, April 1st. All this, the market going up on window dressing and end of quarter rebalancing is going to end. And it's going to be very, very bad. Or very, very good if you know what you're doing. But with millions of people potentially being out of work and people dying, man, really, let's get centered. Let's all get connected, man. Like I joked, if the entire world meditated, we wouldn't be going through shit like this. And China is the mortal enemy of the United States. I've been saying for years that the next 9/11 would not be airliners into buildings. It would be a chemical or a biological attack. And we have been attacked by the Communist Party of China. Okay, I got to go. I got to get ready for the trading day. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge.